working for Warner Brothers and doing specifically Bugs Bunny. I mean, I've heard animators talk about it after this new Space Jam came out, finally getting to animate Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, like bucket list things, veteran Disney guys who just never got that chance. But you've had that chance multiple times, both in the new Looney Tunes show, directing that, but also in Looney Tunes Back in Action. Can you talk a little bit about that whole thing, but also like the difference between working on those? Because those are different looks and different, I think, even levels of animation.
Yeah, the style of movement is different. Yeah, gosh, I'll start with Back in Action because I don't know if history will know this. How painful it was when 2D kind of ended at Disney. When you work at something that you wanted to do your whole life and it has heartstrings to your childhood, and you finally get there, and it's just like you're in the glow of the sun and it's like the most beautiful center of the universe. And I just wanted to be there for the next 80 years and be one of the 9 old men of the new generation. And then when it ends, it's heartbreaking, and it ended for all of us. And it was just so sad. And all these, you'd walk on the floor and you'd see everybody working and you would hear drawings roll, and it was just beautiful. And then all those desks were gone and it was empty. And it was so sad. And it just like, I can't, I can try to describe it, and I'll still never fully be able to communicate just how sad that was for all of us. And we're still like a family. We'll have reunions once in a while and it's still like a family. But Looney Tunes Back in Action was kind of like the life raft that we all swam to. So when you watched Back in Action, you're kind of seeing it's the Disney studio. We were just in a different building, but it's all the Disney animators were there because of Eric Goldberg bringing us all over. And then you get to draw these characters. And, like you were mentioning about like the design sensibility of trying to capture Gerald Scarfe for Hercules, or trying to capture Mike Mignola for Atlantis. And you have time to try to master it. And it always felt like when the movie was over, all right, I'm ready to go now. I kind of am starting to get it, but the movie's done. And now you get to work on Bugs Bunny, this model that has been perfected over decades. And particularly for my taste, I love about 1949, 1950 Chuck Jones, Bugs Bunny. That's where you get Bully for Bugs and 8-Ball Bunny and all my, he just looks perfect to me there. But that took 20 years to get him to look that perfect. And so now you get to animate this character that has been figured out from every shape, and the mouth shapes evolved. And now it's like I get to drive in this car and take it for a test drive, and it's just going to purr. It was just like beautiful to draw them. You had the pressure of like, I want to capture what this was. I don't need to reinvent anything. I want to live up to the legacy. So you had that pressure, but then also I grew up watching this. I know what this is, and it was just so great. And oh my God, I love Bugs Bunny. Like, what a great character. This guy can talk to the camera like Bob Hope did. But then, when I got to direct some Bugs Bunny shorts, he's like, we started referring to it as Bugs Magic, where Bugs can like suddenly change into Marilyn Monroe and everybody is fooled by it, or he could suddenly turn into a baseball player. And then he's so smart that he's a little rabbit, but it's always a big bully that's, stomping on him. But he's so smart that he can turn the tables on him. And then, if he has to like bake, if somebody's wobbly and he wants them to fall into a cake, he can like quickly bake a cake while, and like super fast and put it there. That Bugs Magic, what a phenomenal character. And what an empowerment story for anybody who's ever felt bullied, that you don't have to beat them with your fists. You can just outsmart them, because we all wish we were as smart as Bugs Bunny.
Yes.
I love him. I just love him.
Yeah, and it's interesting. You talk about all the things that Bugs Bunny can do, because even just researching Walt Disney and things, it sounds like, Mickey Mouse became a little bit too precious to the public. At some point, this studio became, their hands were kind of tied. Like, we can't do this with Mickey because people won't accept that. But I don't think that ever really happened with Bugs Bunny. I mean,
yeah, maybe a little bit, because when I got hired onto these Wabbit shorts, that was kind of their pitch to me was, and look, so much of your career too, for all these aspiring animators listening, it's timing, and I love Bugs Bunny, but I got a chance to direct some Bugs Bunny cartoons just because I was in between two jobs. I had a job ending and I had a gig lined up that wouldn't be going for a few months. And they just happened to call me at that time. And their pitch to me was like, Bugs has kind of become a corporate symbol now. And we want to get back to him being a wascally wabbit. He's got to be Bugs Bunny. And they would show me that the shorts that they had in progress. And I got on my soapbox because in some of their shorts, Bugs would just go and kind of like mess with somebody. And that was somebody's idea of him being a wascally rabbit. And I go, no, you have to get in the head of these characters. They made something that was, it's a cartoon, but there's some kind of reality. There's some kind of connection to the human condition that connects us to Bugs Bunny. And we can't root for a guy that just messes with somebody for no reason. You've got to watch the cartoons. He's very tolerant. Boy, and long-haired hair. There's an opera singer that's like rehearsing, but Bugs is playing a little like a banjo or playing a harp, and it bugs this guy. And the guy bullies him and beats him up, but Bugs is tolerant in that short. He gives him 3 chances. The first time is like, music hater, whatever. The third time, wabbit hater. Okay. Then it's the third strike is, of course, this means war. And so I got on my soapbox and I go, Bugs has got to always be the guy that is the table turner. He's got to get bullied first. And then he turns the tables on them. You have to because we root for somebody like that.
That is true. That's true. That's a good point. The old directors at the Warner Brothers Studios used to talk about, how they would hold each other accountable. Bugs wouldn't do that. Bugs wouldn't do that. And so together sort of formed. So that's great. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I like to feel like in the shorts that I did there, that was always kind of those shorts they kind of struggled for a year with a showrunner that was kind of going for a scripted thing. And because they struggled, they brought in a new showrunner, and he was like, why are we struggling with Bugs Bunny? Let's just do it like they did in the 40s. Let's just get all the story people, no script. Let's just get a premise. And then we'll build on that, and everybody will draw in a room and we'll make each other laugh. And then I really, really hit it off with the head writer, Matt Craig. Love that guy. Oh my God. And we saw each other. And so for one of the story sessions, Matt Craig came into the story room and said, usually they would write like maybe a page or two as a premise to launch us. And then Matt just said, Rob, okay, I didn't even write anything. This is for you. We're going to call it Rabbits of the Lost Ark, because I'm a huge, giant Indiana Jones fan. And the thing is, if you love Indiana Jones and you love Bugs Bunny, it kind of like fills in the blanks. It's like, okay, he's going to go into a temple because that's what Indiana Jones does. And we'll have Yosemite Sam doesn't want all the booby traps to hit him. So he'll bully Bugs into like, you go, you dumb rabbit, you do it. And then Bugs has to outsmart Sam into, to doing it first. And then it almost kind of writes itself. If you really love the material,